Okay, we're going to try this again. Um, Take a look at my beautiful studio. And yes, this is not a green screen. I am standing outside here. And I got a mic today because it's breezy out here. Anyway, what is it with people in their 40s? Now, I'll tell you a little story. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, we belonged to a canoe club out in British Columbia. We did lots of whitewater canoeing. And we came across a lot of these kind of like hippie guys, and they were in their early 30s. No, I wouldn't say early 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, maybe early 50s best. And they were into all this fasting. They were hiking with weighted things on their ankles. They're wearing weighted vests, and they're just like lean, mean, muscle machine kind of things. But it's been something that they'd recently picked up and they were doing. And it always struck me as odd, as like, why aren't people in their 20s doing that? I mean, some of them are now. Why aren't people in their 30s doing it? Again, some of them are now, but a lot of people hit their 40s and they go on. All of a sudden, everything changes. Now, it could be midlife crisis. I don't know. That is a thing. But I always wondered, like, what is it with people in their 40s? Why do they get on all this stuff, right? Well, I'm 44, and I'm dealing with a fourth flare up from sciatic stuff, lower back issues. And the story that comes from that is hauling deer out of the bush 2.5 years ago, and and just wrong form, out of shape, that stuff, right? Well, since then, started doing kettlebell workouts and all that, and well, I have another flare up, so I'm dealing with that now. Now, oh, I'm back. Hey, we're connected again. So anyway, I've been searching around. Okay, so when you're living life and you're sitting on, pain level of 6 and 7 with sciatic pain, can't sit down for a month, you start looking at stuff. And I remember when I was a kid, probably 10, 11, 12 years old, we had a cassette tape somebody gave to us. I'm using a mic because it's breezy out here. I wanted a clear voice instead of wind blowing past. And we had this tape on DMSO. And I remember the line, he says, feel great, but you stink. And I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds cool, but not really interested. I didn't need it. Like I said, in my 20s and 30s, you just bounce back, right? You have an injury, you get bucked off, whatever, you bounce back. Well, in your 40s and you're dealing with pain every day, you start looking at some of these things, and it came to my mind, right? I started looking up DMSO, and I found it's incredible stuff, sidelined by the pharmaceutical medical community. You can't patent the stuff because it's naturally occurring. There's just lots of companies to produce it, but all the price is really close to the same. It's like $10 an ounce or something is what the price comes out to. But you can't patent it. So the pharmaceutical companies, they don't like it, okay? Anyway, I found that it's particularly good for nerves. It's particularly good for spinal injuries, joints, that kind of stuff, which your whole back is essentially is all joints, right? Essentially. And so I dug into it, and then I got some. Now, here's another story. I picked it up at the health food store, which is good. It's good. I don't usually do health food stores. I haven't had really good experience with health food stores in the past. And that's a whole nother story for another day. But I picked this stuff up. It was 100 or 99.99% USP DMSO cream, and it was knocked down to 90% because they added 10% water. So still pure DMSO, but then they added water to knock the concentration down to 90. Follow me? So I figured, well, we're going to try this. Have you ever had a really bad sunburn, like one that makes it feel like your skin is a shell and is all crinkly? That's exactly what happens. Same feeling, that burn, as if you've been out in the sun all day laying in the sun and you got a really bad sunburn. That's what DMSO at 90% does. I jumped in the shower, washed that stuff off. I had it from here, just above my waist all the way down to my calf, down almost to my ankle. Again, they recommend spot testing. I didn't. I put it on because it felt good. I'm like, I'm going to use this stuff. I got to get the inflammation down so I can get rid of the pain, because apparently it's really good for pain. Again, it's not an opioid or anything. It just slows down some of the pain up to your brain and back and forth and all that stuff. So it helps your body relax and start healing, cuts out inflammation, but increases blood flow. So you actually get nutrients, not just inflammation, because chronic inflammation is not great for you. I don't know how much you know about inflammation, but anyway, 10 minutes later, I was jumping into the shower, wash this stuff off because it dilutes with water, right? And so I get the stuff off, and my wife is like, well, let's mix it a little bit with castor oil. So we mixed it. I'm like, yeah, that looks good. So it's less than 90 now because we mixed it a little less. We didn't really measure. We just kind of scooped it out and added a little bit and poured some in and did our thing. I tried that. I'm guessing it was probably about 70%. Oh, the burn. I jumped in the shower for the second time and called her quits for the night. So that was 2 times in the evening. After we got home, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I mean, this is crazy. The camera's waving. It's, like I said, it's breezy out here. Jumped in the shower, rinsed it off. I'm good for the night. Next morning, did it again. At that point, we jumped it down to 20%. I didn't really notice anything at 20%. So did that. That's great. And then, again, that's with castor oil. I did it again twice yesterday after that. In the evening, I guess I did 50%. So we did it 30%, which is okay. I did it 50%, and I would say that's probably max for my body right now. 50% castor oil, 50% DMSO, which is actually technically like 40 and change. And that's where I experienced good sleep. I woke up in the morning this morning, and the pain that I've been dealing with was like an echo. Now it came back after an hour or so, but I had a good night's sleep, which is a lot from going in pain all night. And I do use a heating pad, so I'm on, like, it goes off, and I reach over the bed and I turn the thing back on low setting, and I find that helps. But I had a good sleep. I woke up this morning and the pain was an echo, so pretty impressed. I had a brother try it as well. He came down with the same thing I did. He has a bulge disc that he's dealing with as well, and he's like, wow, I actually got a really good sleep last night because I wasn't in pain all night. And again, about an hour after he got up, he's moving around doing his push-ups and workouts. It came back a little bit. But something that we both noticed was that the inflammation had gone down around all the surrounding areas, because otherwise it just hurts all over, right? If you've dealt with sciatic, which a lot of people have, the pain kind of gets ramped up. It's almost like it snowballs to a point. It was interesting because the pain had gone down in all the areas except for that. Now I could feel that one little area where it comes from, if that makes sense, right? Bulge disc, it's going to be the right in that little area. And so both of us noticed the same thing. So I don't know. If you're dealing with that, it might be something worth trying. Reach out to me if you have any questions. You send me a DM. I'll check that and answer you with best of my knowledge. Yeah, it's something I haven't really looked into. Boy, it is getting windy out here. Hopefully it's not affecting the mic too much. But it is something that I figured I'd look into because I can't do painkillers. And not a whole lot touches nerves unless you're on, like, I don't know, the stuff. It's addictive. I can't remember the name of the stuff. But anyway, just a thought. Again, when you're over 40 and you've got a lot of pain going on, you try stuff, right? Maybe a little bit out of the box, which is good because I would definitely say the pharmaceutical industry does not have it all together when it comes to that. And try it. Give me a shout if you have some questions about it.